Hi guys, welcome to episode 5 of the Fiberista Files. Today is May 13th and it is, oh gosh, 3 weeks away from the frolic. Why don't I tell you what I've been doing? I finished the superwash merino this week. I had 10 pounds of that originally and that is all done finally. The two colorways I ended up finishing off with were Cherry Blossoms, which has nice deep wood rose and some lighter pinks in them as well, and the chocolate brown of the tree branches, so that's kind of hard to see. That's Cherry Blossoms. And the other one I have is called Bloodlust. This is all dyed in shades of deep reds and purples. It's got some maroon, burgundy, plum, wine, all sorts of reds and purples, and together they create a nice rich dark roving. And as always, there are lighter and darker color values in there because of the way I do the dyeing. So that's done. I have 3 pounds of superwash merino tensile blend. I'd like to get done by Saturday night, so that's 3 more colorways there. I think I've only got maybe a pound left on the first 2 cones of sock yarn. So I still have 3 cones of sock yarn and the 10 pounds of superwash BFL to dye up. I'm saving the BFL for last because it's my favorite to dye and work with. So since I know I'm going to be I'm going to be lacking momentum here towards the end as push comes to shove, I wanted to save my favorite for last. So as far as sock yarn, I have one here called April Showers. April Showers was one of the first colorways I did when I opened my shop, and I love it. It is spot dyed with the squirt bottles in green, dark green, and wine red, and then I over dye it in blue. So I actually push this down in like a kettle dye almost, push it down into the dye solution that's full of blue, and move it around a little bit, and then lay them out, add a little bit of water so that everything's covered, and I cook it from there. So it's all, you get so many shades, and the wines and blues connect to make deep purples, and the greens make these dark teals, and it's just gorgeous, and it knits up beautifully. If you look on my Ravelry page, I am Boutros Babe on Ravelry, and you look at my Manhattan socks. The Manhattan sock is by Lisa Dykstra. I used a skein of that from my first dye job to knit those socks, and they look phenomenal. A lot of that's the pattern, but I do like to think that some of it was the yarn as well. The other one I dyed, and it's still a little bit damp, and it hasn't been reskeined yet, so it doesn't look very good, is this one. This is Midnight Lavender. This is done, it's actually, I didn't talk about this, but it's dip dyed. I have a pot over here of pink, and a pot over here of purple, violet, and I take the yarn, and it's just like this, and I dip them in both sides until let the dye sort of pick up from the ends and come up the skein. And then when that's all absorbed, I lay it down in the turkey pan, the dye pot, and I squirt other colors on there. I have bright purple in here. I have lavender. I have navy blue. I have all kinds of colors, and some of those areas too fade a little bit. They don't fade. They don't absorb as much of the dye, and so there's like lighter blues and stuff like that. This doesn't look like much right now. It's kind of a big mess. But when it's reskeined and in the hank, it looks awesome. So I'm very excited about that. What else? That's what I've been dyeing. So there's been mention, if you follow me on Plurk, you know that I do a lot of naming colorways for other people. I have always been a fan of giving things names. I love naming things. Part of that's because I'm an English teacher and I love words. Part of it's just because I'm a dork and I like to name stuff. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about the colorway names and how I get them today. So when I first opened the Etsy shop, I started out with collections. I was dyeing 10 colorways around a specific theme in various fibers. I did a little bit of merino. I did the loose fibers. I did sock yarn. I did a bunch of stuff, and I centered it around a collection or a theme. So the first one I did was the Proverbs collection. I had 10 colorways, all inspired by Proverbs. I had Counting Chickens, April Showers, the greener side, which had to do with, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. There were a whole bunch. And what I found was that after 3 or 4 collections, I ran out of ideas for a set of colorways. and it was very difficult to come up with things I wanted to dye. I had colors I wanted to dye and names I wanted to dye, but they didn't go together into a central theme. So I basically stopped that completely and quit organizing things on my Etsy shop by collection and just did it by hand-dyed fiber, hand-dyed yarn, hand-spun fiber, and soon, there's something else in there going to be soon. So now I just kind of name things willy-nilly, whatever the mood strikes me. Sometimes I have a specific colorway name in mind and find colors that match it. Like the Midnight Lavender, I knew I wanted dark purple and blue, and so I finagled that until I got it. So and other times it just, I get the yarn and then I don't know what to name it, so I think about it a minute until something lends itself to the colorway. Growth. I got my banner in the mail from Vistaprint. I told you, I think last week when I was talking about my business cards, that they sent me a coupon for a free banner. And I got that banner today. It cost me $6 in shipping. When I ordered from Vistaprint, I chose the slowest shipping option because it was the cheapest. And I actually was notified yesterday that my banner was supposed to be in the mail or delivered today. And it actually was delivered like 5 days ago. Their slow shipping is really not any slower than anything else, and it gives you this ridiculous like 21-day turnaround. But it really doesn't take that long. So this is my banner, and it says, you know, Highland Handmades, hand-dyed fibers and yarns, and there's the shop web address and all that. It's one of the preset templates that they have. I just plugged in my information and they sent it off to me. It was awesome. I'm looking at my notes here as the cat goes in and out. Oh, my husband, who has been incredibly supportive the whole time that I even began knitting, spinning at least. He supported me through my spinning, through opening the Etsy shop, through deciding to do the fiber frog. He's been a rock the whole time through. He decided it would be a good idea to make me some spindles to sell in the shop. He made me some 2 Christmases ago in all sorts of hardwoods, and I love them. They spin wonderfully. He did an awesome job. This is what the spindles look like. It's really difficult for you to see this, but this is a 2-ounce spindle. This is a 3/8 inch thick shaft. It is curly maple. It has a maple, the whorl is maple, curly maple. The shaft is maple. And like I said, it's about 2 ounces. They spin wonderfully. And you can tell I already started spinning on this. It's not even finished yet. He polyurethanes them all so that the dye doesn't affect the spindle and that they don't catch on the fiber. They're beautifully done. And he's making me about 80 of these in different woods. He's making them in curly maple, bird's eye maple, regular maple, beech, birch, oak, and I think there's one more, but I can't remember now what it is. Any of the ones that I don't sell at this Frolic, which I know they will be a popular item, any of the ones that I don't sell will be up for sale in the Etsy shop. And he may get some done before that in order to put those up on the shop ahead of time so that we have some money there to put in the cash box to give people change and stuff like that. So I'm ridiculously excited about that. If you are interested, let me know and we can see what we can do. Grabby Hands. Grabby Hands is actually a chance for you to win a skein of Highland Handmades Sock Yarn. This is Jonquil, which you have seen before, the yellow and green colorway. This is 430 yards approximately of yellow and green sock yarn, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. All you have to do to be entered to win this skein of yarn is to tweet, blog, plurk, link something online about the Fiberista files and send me the link in the comments on this post. I will give you guys a week for that, and I will draw a winner on the episode 6 next week for the winner of the skein of sock yarn. And at that point, I will try and contact you or have you contact me to get this sent out to you. So this is your chance to win a skein of Jonquil sock yarn, and all you have to do is tell the world about the Fiberista files, and then let me know what you did. That's pretty much all I had today. This looks like a lot more notes than I end up with. I do hope to have the merino tencel and the rest of the first 2 cones of sock yarn to show you next week. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. I'm getting kind of close to crunch time, so pretty much every available moment is spent dyeing. So that's about it for me. Until next week, guys, happy spinning and knitting, and good luck on the contest.